Good evening friends, and welcome to den traditionella bondedemokratin. And paused? No, we're not paused. We run. 6th of August of 2023. Cheers. This fire station, if that would have existed, then here would stand the palace of the Soviet, but it only stood for like 3 months. It is a terrible loss. 12 years to build, 3 months of barely even getting a good look at it, you know. Did we even get to see it in the sunset or sunrise or something like such as this? But it would be like another 11 years to build another one, and I don't think that we're up for it, really. No. We aren't up for that. What we are up for, though, is there anything left? I wonder, is there there anything left? Now we have built ships as well. Yes, very good. We have built, you know, the cable car. Let's not forget about this. This was such a big project back in the day, you know. Come on, come on. In the 70s, when we ventured boldly into the uranium business, yes, and the atom industry, atom power, atomic nuclear energy, yes, that thing. And yes, this turned out really well. Let's could go back down again, please. No. Yes. Anyway, that's that. How much of the people's population have we now? 36,600. Okay, so it's decent. It's well above the 30,000 mark. Well above. And here. Why aren't there more workers here? Because this is a sad setup, if there ever was one. Yes, we could should we build more housing in Sayov? No. No. You know, the last place we expanded was here. How is that going? Okay, it's going very well. 86 workers ready to work at the bus platform. Yes, this is a bit. This is a bit odd this evening. For some reason, something is off. Well, something is always a bit off. In some way or other, but it's extra off. This evening something is off. I don't know what it is, but it is something. But it is rolling, and yes, it is. But it is something that's off. 200 workers steel mill, yes. You know, one thing that we have so many of now that it is, I mean, it is just beyond anything. This, the number of vehicles and things that we have gathered here, and the amount of nuclear fuel is also something. Yes, this, we should take this out. Yes, you should not use this. There seem to be many who are using it. What are you doing with all this? you are not distribution office, you are... I have deployed this at some point. Forklift garage, yes, they don't do much. You're really slow. What else do you do? Oskarshamn gas station. Oh, the Oskarshamn gas station only has this. You know what? We're going to replace you then. Copy here. Go. Do something. That. And you, even though you are full of fuel, I think that we can. How much fuel do we have in total here? 35,000 tons. 16 tons in this truck, yes. 401,000 rubles. Very good. They pay back well these when we sell them here. Well, what do you get for 1 million rubles today? Do you get, for example, an electrical substation? I don't think that you do. What? 76,536 rubles. That sounds really cheap. 8,400. That's a good value for money. That. It's these things. These things are expensive though. As if we were to do it, then stop it. Yes. If we were to do this. As you see, it adds up quite quickly. Now we have 1.3 million rubles. And no. And you tore down a bit of trees there for no good reason at all. This place now has a second train diesel station. I think it does not have diesel yet. Okay, we need to change this around then. This will cause bad things to happen in time. Fuel transport. Second fuel transport. Where do we fit this into your schedules? Oskarshamn, Beates after Oskarshamn, or rather, you're not going to Oskarshamn anymore. No, you're not. But you're going to Varstock. You certainly are. So we'll do this. We'll take you here, unload, and we'll remove this one. Late stop. And we'll do the same here. Beates train diesel station, yes, after this one. Add. And remove. I thought to do it. Possibly. We have electricity. Yes, we do have electricity. Do we even have it directly from the nuclear power plant? No, we don't. We're too far out. So actually, it goes a long way before it gets here. This. As I think it goes out on this wire. As it does. There's this one. Then it goes down there and over there, and yes. All sorts of places before making it back to... Well, it goes here basically. How much electricity are we using in the realm here? We're not using the potential very much, but 20 megawatts. So about what you can do with a standard coal power plant is what we're using as far as electricity goes during daytime. Yes. During nighttime, I'm positive it goes up a bit. Maybe we even have brownouts at places. We could be having brownouts. I don't know. Something must be overloaded somewhere. As this, you have been standing in here for quite some time, and this is one reason that building the palace of the Soviets again would be a bothersome thing to do. Yes, quite bothersome indeed. And Yes. Because it required so goddamn many of those electrical components. How much? 800 or something tons. That's like 6 of these trains or something. 5, 6. Isn't it more? Well, then put it like that. I mean, we can make them at quite a rate here. There are 41 workers in the factory. That's not a whole lot, but at times there are many here. Look at this, for example. All the buses are arriving at once. This is not working well. Hansesino bus platform. This is not good. This should be like in the hundreds of people standing around here, if things are well. But Hansesino is not that well for the moment, I don't think. It's a little bit off. 5,000? No, I think that's a pretty good number for that town, is it not? What is a terrible number though? Here's one, they're recuperating, but the 10,000 is a good number. Yes. Okay, the night is falling. Electricity. How much during night time? And 27. No, okay, so we could not get by with the coal power plant. With the one coal power plant that we have in a pinch. Well, in a pinch we could. I mean, we're not that far off. Not that far off. But the lights might flicker a bit every now and then. And here lies, a great something that is completely devoid of any activity, basically. We have this railroad that goes here. It's quite nice, this. What would be even nicer would be if we could see some trains here, but at some point we will see trains. Yes, there will be trains, rest assured. Here we have. Oh, it's a construction train. You're not done yet, okay? Because what we're building out here is this, all the way out here. Oh yes, you have lots of fiddly things to do here, lots of little bits. So that's why it's taking you so long. But now there's only these two remaining, and those, yes, 2 more goes and you'll be done. Very good. And this, yes. There were no workers or mechanism here. Couldn't you people be bothered to walk here a bit? We need to wait for them someone to get off the bus before we know if this is working or not. 60 workers are arriving. But we can also do this. Yes, it will work. People will walk to here. But there's also no concrete or gravel or asphalt or anything. And there is nothing here. Maybe the road was just finished. That is also a possibility. Husqvarna construction office, but not the huge one. It's not helping. We want the huge construction office to be helping on this. Here, yes, you. Certain almost never causes a traffic incident. This construction office. Very rarely, indeed. I wonder what I was thinking with this, because I don't think that this is going to work. Come to think of it. I don't think that the whatchamacallit thing, the train, yes, I don't think that the train will be able to unload. What are you trying to say? Yes, the goods train. Yes, the goods train will not be able to get its thing into here. Also, this will look terrible. That's what this will do. We cannot have a train standing here. That will not be acceptable. No, I'm not getting a good feeling for this. The problem is these are very, very few and far between here. There's only one here that we can use. And this one, but no, we cannot. It's not possible to get a rail cargo station in here. What were you thinking with this? Because what you'd want is actually if you do this, if you'd have done this. Let's see here. One of yes, I am getting to it here to cargo train station. One of these. Yes, if you would have gotten one of these. And hook that up to something, but there are still too few of these available, and this will not go. This is not going to work. This is going to be terrible. Yes, it is going to be quite bad. Is it not? And this is not nice neither. The very, very bad design, or what you call it. It's not even design, it's just it's no good, whatever it is. But if we could get like a little cargo station on here, or a warehouse maybe. Yes, a warehouse with the road cargo station. Then if we could get the railroad into that warehouse in whatever way we could, however damned it would be. If we could get it in there, we could. Need flat terrain, that is, I take that as a good. Okay, we have something. Although that road connection will be something if it will be. This is where we're going to truck all the stuff into. No, it's not. This is only for building. If we can get, yes, if we can get this rail onto here. It might be a bit of a stretch, but it might also not be too much of a stretch. It's getting over the road here will not be a simple matter. Angle of railway, something or other, yes. But we really need to be going that way, And you won't do that, will you? No. Like this, please. Yes, like this. Very much like this. This is what we want. Not very much like this, but it will do, I think. We're looking at this now. We could have this. Couldn't we have this a lot further in here? A lot further in. Yes. You know what I'm trying to say? Storage and warehouse. A warehouse. Well, no, not really. Because need flat terrain, And you can't build it to infrastructure. Here, the factory connections. You can't build it to infrastructure, and you're not getting the road connection on. It may have looked really simple to do, but it was not. And now we shall have to Yes, on hilly terrain you can build a road first. Okay then. Will you please take that away now? Do a check if the game has been if player has been playing the game for more than for more than say 500 hours or something. We don't need that tooltip anymore. Yes. And it has never been really the case neither. Or of much help. Maybe it's just there to mock. Might well be. That's lovely, you know. That is lovely. Or not lovely, but it will do. I think that this will work actually quite well. Quite decently is how it will work. But there is one little bit missing here. Yes, and that is this bit. It's quite important, but there we have it. And there is no way to turn around here, unfortunately. Maybe we should. But if we allow for turning around out here, I think that could be abused quite a bit, you know. Yes, and this, I also I figured out what we need to do here in order to get this to be as intended to work here, because it's the integrated loader. If we would have had a separate loader, one of these, one of those, maybe a pump in between the loader and this thing. Yes, I think we should have that, and then one of these, like so. That ought to just get rid of the excess. That which we should have to, yes. I don't suppose you are close enough to pick this up on your own. Yes, you were. It must be this. We have not built any other rail. It was not this. There's other railroad as well, such as railroad that will be defunct somewhat, or not at least used quite so much and heavily. We would like it to build this construction. It's not for rail construction of it, no, of course not. But this is, yes. As you only have one vehicle, and but there's only this left. It will be done soon. Missing steel and mechanical components. They should be on their way then. Yes. Well, on their way, an excavator is on its way. That's how far we've gotten on this project. You're getting ahead of yourself here a little bit, and they still have plenty of stuff to construct the second ship from. Yes. And eventually here, something ought to, yes, you said that already. Yes, I did. That is correct. Yes, this will not be quite acceptable, I don't think. No, I don't think it will, but it will be full of steel before you know it, and then it will be hard to get rid of. Well, we still need 2,000 tons of steel to finish this, so if it gets regretted, we can use that steel and then demolish it. Yes. There are plenty more workers in Husqvarna which we could be bussing out here too, but you know, that's a concrete mixer. This is very, very considerate of you to take the slow road out to here, I have to say. exemplary. Very much communist here. Although it is not one of our own what do you call it, home-built excavators, no. It is inferior, of course, but this is a bit too much work to transport our own around. We can see here is an example of one being transported around, actually. That's more like it, yes. It's a bit more efficient too. Efficient, yes. Much more quick. This is how it goes. Language, man. How are you talking? How are you speaking? I don't know. Not well. Not well. I think that we should get some focus. Either get focus on doing something, constructive, or focus on writing something or enjoying something. But we're somewhere in between now, and that's not a good place. So I'm trying my best here. One thing that we've done is to rearrange the fuel distribution down here, and that probably has caused some issues. You want to go this way, yes. If you look here, first of all, it's not full. And the Beata's medium distribution office here, for example, where do you get your fuel from? Beata's oil fuel storage, that's a good place. It's not a very good place. Oskarshamn train diesel station 2, yes, you have that on there. And that has fuel nowadays. How much does this have? Still a bit. Do you have the maximum amount of tankers available? No, you should definitely have more, because you seem to have a lot to do. And fortunately, we do have, let's see, we have here, I think we have like quite an amount of them. We take 3. Yes, that will leave room for 1. And no, we'll take 4, and this we'll get rid of. Yes. And replacing them. And this is also not very. But this is okay. We'll keep that one is a little bit nicer. We'll keep that one around for now. There are plenty of other stuff that we could get rid of as well, like the old LZ100s. Yes, but they are such a staple of this area that it would almost be a little bit of a shame to get rid of them. You apparently have an open hull, or do you do anything open hullish? I think you do. Yes, apparently you do. You do bricks and planks for the rail construction office here. And they have so much to do nowadays. Wouldn't believe it. But I think that you have. You're sort of keeping up nowadays, but you have a lot to do. It's a lot of fuel to distribute for you. How many workers do we have here? Now, you see, that's not an enormous amount. I would prefer to see an enormous amount of workers here. And here, there are not that many neither. Also, you see, especially in here is where we'd like. We cannot get more. They seem to have all the UF6 and chemicals they could want. We do have chemicals for them, even though it's not that much at the moment, but it's nearby. Oh, the train has finally left. Very good. It did not cause an accident. That could either be a good thing or it could be an indication of something being wrong somewhere else. Here. Whenever there are no trains at all moving around, such as now. There you see one. That's a good thing. What are you doing? You should be you're a food train. You seem to be doing reasonable things, yes? Here's another one. A fuel train. You are also doing reasonable things. Says, don't worry, it's all working excellently. Here's a steel train. There's the steel train even. Very nice. Steel mill seems to be doing quite good as well. 360 people in here. Yes, that was the point. Also to have a second strategic place to store steel. Over there, that's why we're building it. You can now store export steel. Just wait a bit and we'll see about that, We'll have you exporting and not storing steel for quite a bit time. Until such time that we fill this up, it will not look acceptable. I realize this. Oh, it's finished though. The railroad is finished. Yes, very nice, very good. We do sane signaling then. We try, at least. That maybe should be one of those. That should be one of those, and a few here, like so. No, that, yes, that, wait, there we go, and here. There will not be that many trains going in here, I don't think, but I mean, we have the capability here to accept 4 at the same time. But I think that will be sad if we send a train in here, as it will not be good. So what we'll do to prevent that, yes, I'll try and fix the pipe soon. If we do that, that should prevent trains from trying to get into there, and that. With that, I apologize. Yeah, damn it. Yes, and that did not quite clear it. It is the time of the season for the something in the air. Yes, yes, it makes you. Yes, all sorts of things. But not only bad things. No, it's a lovely time. Yes, missing resources, steel, concrete. What is this then? What was that, if not steel and concrete? It was boards or bricks. That's what it was. Now they have concrete. Just need steel is here. Steel, yes, very good. Still nowhere near getting, emptied out on their thing. No. But this is finished. And the situation that the steel mill is currently experiencing of being unable to store or export their product, it's about to end. What's this, for example? This looks very promising. This doesn't have anything to do. This will be then strategical. Stil, omlokation. Yes, relocation. strategical steel relocation, and this is a bit too short. We don't have any open wagons. See, we don't have any. We don't have any. We might have here. We could, yes, here we have something. What's this, for example? Jackpot. As this goes to the atom fuel storage and loads 100% of anything, and that's called the jackpot for a reason. Money bringer. Don't want to touch this. No, fine. We'll do with one for now. Should we build a few more open wagons then? I think we should. Even though they are working so extremely slowly here now. 2 engineers, 10 workers. But they are getting something done every now and then. Well, I suppose we need them, but we don't want to throw away half a locomotive that they have been working on. But the locomotives are not in shortage, you know. They are all around. In fact, they really are all around. What's not all around are open wagons, though. So we could use, no, we'll use one train. It will be plenty for this. Here, go to steel mill. Do we go inside the steel mill? Yes, I think it's safe to safe to send. No, it's not, because it's not hooked up. And then we could go here. Yes, we could. But you know, here it is not safe to wait. We can only have 2 trains for this. It's a bit poor. Actually. Is that the maximum length of train that there is? This 530, I don't think so. I think you can have, but even the longest train will still fit inside the steel mill, will it not? Therefore, if one were to do something like, apparently we can do this without regard to what's going on with the road. Something like that. If we could place a signal here, that is, because then we would need one there and one here, and not have this one. As you see, that's how it works. Intuitive as this. It is actually quite intuitive once you just get to understand exactly how it is. You have to think of it as you want to protect and prevent trains from entering a place such as this under certain circumstances. And the circumstances of which a train may not enter here now is if anywhere here there is a train. Yes. If the axles of a train touches the rails from within the limits of these signals. These signals, yes. Damn it, once again, remove it. We can look at number 9. Yes, these. It will be red at the entrances here, such as here. Yes, and here, and so on. So, for example, if a train comes from here and wants to go into the steel mill on the rail that we just built, it will enter through here and it will be red all the while it is going up here and past this point until that point, as then it will be clear again, all of this. And whilst that is going on, we need to stop other trains from entering, and that's the basics of how this system works. Kind of. It's one way of thinking of it anyway. And anywhere that a rail touches another one, such as here, that then becomes this. You can think of it as how electrical wires work. If they touch each other, they conduct, and therefore they form a block here. Maybe I should be paying attention to these fires. It could be something important, such as something that took 12 years to build. Or 11, but it was a lot of years, yes, and it was a lot of stuff. Like here, for example, here comes the construction train that is building this one. It has a blue light. It ought to go, I think. Yes. The only circumstance where it wouldn't go is if it wanted to go to a place where it is red here, yes, where it is already occupied. It's the reason for it being blue, and that's the change signal. As you see here, still this one. When we enter a place like this, we have a change signal, one of these. Yes. If we were to have a regular block signal here, if we were to put one of these in here, yes, for the moment it's red, but pretty soon it will be green. And if it were to become green here, well, in this case it won't get green because this will take a while. But when the train had gotten into its block where it's going, it would turn green, and then therefore allow another train in here. And if that train had the same destination in mind that was already occupied, it would cause a major problem here. It would cause a deadlock. Is what it would do. And this change signal is clever enough to not let the train in if it's going to a place that is already occupied. The only exception to this rule that I have found in this game is if you have a train diesel station or such as we have here and in other places as well. Find here, yes, here. A train will go to refuel. Yes, you see here we have the same thing. Or here it's even crazier. This thing, all of this here from. Yes, this is the switching block. You can do all sorts of crazy things here, all except going from this here to that directly. You can't. That's the punishment that the trains get because they have been doing this illegal thing. So they go and fuel up here, yes, and then they get into here, and then they do a flip around and go, for example, to the warehouse, where there is already a train. So that is why these are no longer in use, to prevent that from happening. We have had many famines and mass exoduses of people because of it. And we don't want to have that to happen again, please, if it could be avoided. Oh, you've gotten to this now. I think that you have quite a route to get to where you live. Yes, you did. You have used up plenty of fuel to get here. We should have used Oskarshamn. It's all over there. You'd think that this be closer here, but it's not. I think it has to go a long, long way around here. And it has to come up this way in order to do this construction. And it ought to go back the same way. As here it could do an illegal turnaround if it wanted. It could go in here and then do a flip here. But no, that it won't do. Not where it would be useful and not do any harm. Isn't this supposed to be a superior road, that one? Yes, but obviously the road was built after the electrical wire. So it is. We could do a bit of this, babe. We could. That to be of any use, we also need to do this. Do you want to do the level crossing? Yes. How bad could it be? Oh, this is done now. Very nice. I'm just about to be completed. There we have it. Asphalt road. Eventually. And you should not be confused now. You should just get home. Wonder if you will go back or if you will go for a refuel. I don't think you will go for a refuel. Maybe they do. Yes, it is having a think about the fuel situation. It was having a think. So construction trains also obey the rules of refueling. Then let's see what it does here. If it does a flip, it could get. It is the closest way to get to a fuel station is to do a flip here. I would imagine, but it didn't. It might be going. I think it's going down to the new place at Oskarshamn to refuel. If it isn't going home, that is. Oh, Lisa is out at sea and unloading. We have filled her up once again with the bitumen. It is a long way, this, to go. Obviously, it is very light on fuel, it would seem, this now. It is not using a lot. It would in fact seem to be using a very small amount of fuel. And see here if it keeps going straight or if it takes this. It's red. But left is closest way to home, I would think. Closest is. Everything is relative here, but sort of. And straight ahead is closest fuel station, but I'm betting left. Oh, the moment is about to be here now. We're left. Yes, it did go left. Now he's going home. If yes, you would have been allowed to have done a flip there, you would have been home days earlier. than you will be now. Yes. There we have it. It's rolling quite quickly, this crane here, but it seems to be doing fine. Yes, this railroad is not... well, it is made for enjoyment. It's what it is. That's why we have the curves and everything here. And that, you know, the system right now as it stands with the signaling means that that journey that we took through there has been blocking a big piece of the network for all that time. But apparently path signaling is coming. Yes. As seen in Transport Tycoon Deluxe, yes, and other games, it is coming to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Just as you figure out this stuff, that will be a new beast maybe to tackle. Yes, I think it will. You know, here we need to find the train that is supposed to go here, and I think it is in here. Speaking of which, did you never did this, did you? No, we got sidetracked a bit. Yes, we did. Could we just get this going? How much stuff you have on board? I think you could actually go by here and pick up a bit. Yes, you can do all of it. But also should not forget now, very, very important bit here, to add this stop to it. Here. Unload. No, not there. Last. Very important. There. Unload. Wait. Ought to do it. Ought to. Here we should limit amount. If we do say we want max mechanical components, is what we want first and foremost. Yes. Then we also want a bit of electrical components. Nothing is happening here. I have bugged this out. Yes, this warehouse is now broken. No, now it's fixed again. Very good. Yes, electrical components a bit. For some reason it is dividing evenly. Now, okay, I have never seen that before. But there you have it. 5%, 11 tons, a bit more maybe. How much does it take to build? 19 tons more. Yes, you know, we need to do many runs of mechanical components to build one of these, so I think that will have a whole lot more than... that's too much. Yes, plastics, a bit more. 40 tons maybe. Yes, about. And fabric, a tiny amount. 22 tons is the smallest amount you can have. Right then. Okay, that ought to do it. Now, for this steel train, the strategic steel relocation is here. Now we can say safely accept 3 trains in the steel mill, maybe. Yeah, you go out to here. Which way you go? Here. Yes. And unload and wait until you are unloaded, although that will not be soon. Oh, you're empty. This is a bit of... how will you do this? Considering the new fuel station here, you might actually do an illegal flip to get there. As I know, I'm a little bit obsessed with these trains flipping around, but they have been the bane of many things here. We see, I don't quite recall how this is connected, if it is connected, but maybe it is disconnected at some point. I didn't think about that the depot should have a quick and nice and easy access to the fueling station. Apparently not. But that could be quite easily fixed. And exactly where are you going to get your fuel from? Is there? There might still be fuel up here, maybe. No. No, it's the next one. Maybe not even the next one. It's somewhere around here that you get to the fuel. Yes, it would have been there. That's the rail yard in there. Look at all the trains in the rail yard. Yes, it is a bit difficult on... There are so many things here that we have built that it is ridiculous almost. We have so much mechanical things, machinery that we don't know what to do with. We are a museum, but it is all working, and it is not museum pieces. They are well working machinery, such as this. Anyway, you are not. You don't care so much about this, apparently. You're doing it in a sensible way. Down here at Molna, yes, that would be very sensible to do. And what's this crazy switch about? That was probably for some construction thing. We could remove it. Yes. Could we though? Yes, we could. This is one way. This is one way. There is no reason for it. It only serves to do one thing, and that is to slow down the roundabout. Sure about that? Yes. Pretty sure about that. That means that this, it should not be here. Or maybe it should be about there, but it should be a regular one, such as this. And, yes. Yes, I mean, believe it or not, but all of this works somehow. You're running electrical components around. We're back to, not your services not being quite so critical anymore. But for 11 glorious years, you were in high demand, your services. Lenin ever standing, watching out over the lake. No, we're not going to write on Lenin. that's a lot of trees in the way, unfortunately, of seeing the quite nice infrastructure actually that we got going on here. Oh, and whilst we are here, we cannot go past this area without having a look. And just that's how we're doing, and we're doing quite well. The grain storage is about full. The meat storage is just about right. It's just where we want it actually. It's perfect. It's what it is. Okay, so two of these livestock farms doing quite a bit of work is what we need for 37,000 people. They don't have any food at the shop in Polochevo. How could they not? This must be a very temporary thing. Is it not? What's going on here? Polochevo warehouse. Here you load food, for example. There is an enormous amount of food available here. At the Molna Road cargo station, electronics. We don't have electronics in Alvaret. I think we do. Road cargo station, you only load. But there are electronics here you can take. This is a mess, is what it is. A proper mess. They don't have any clothing, they say, but how could they not? There are 8 tons of clothing here. Maybe these distribution officers have a bit too much to do. Could be well be the case. There are 2 trucks in here. What are they doing? There are 2 cover downs here, not in use. Okay. These are awful, though. Do you want these? I don't think so. You know. Not when we have. This is the wrong place again. Yes, but we do this, and we're at the right place. We're taking here from a covered yes, goods truck. One of these, 2, 3, 4. That's 4, I think. Distribution office. Hello. What? Where is this? Where are you? Medium distribution office too. Yes, it's here. Here it is. I didn't see it. Sell. Yes, 312,000. That sounds like a good deal for one of those. Yes, all of these. Get to here, please. Yes, you get brand new. Of these. This is also quite old, and so are these. We could replace all of them. It's not that we have a lack of trucks or anything. You know what? One thing is very important here that you wait until loaded at the steel mill. Did it work? Did you get in on the? Yeah, you did. It did work. Very nice. And for some reason, this train took precedence over this steel for the ships. Which, wait a minute. this is the one. You are supposed to be doing what this is doing. Yes, you're the one that was doing this. Ah, great. That means that we'll have two trains going up here. Yes, it was left like this kind of intentionally, you know. Just a matter of recalling it. How are you doing on the pavement here? Paving. Progress is what you're doing. Or how you're doing. The account is ticking up. Lisa is doing good work out there overseas. Wherever she is. Out there somewhere. Yes, bitumen is starting to store up again. Should we go and have a look down at the petrochemical area, where the resources should be quite intensive? 10,000 tons of fuel. It's full of oil. This is running. Look at this. It's all running. 270 workers in the oil refinery, and we could have even more, I think. It depends. And in here there is 300 workers too, and they cannot store or export chemicals for the first time ever. Not for it has been like this for a couple of years now, but yes, one of these certainly takes care of your chemical needs. Certainly does. It is the exact same thing as the original, just 10 times the scale. But for some reason, some logistical chain is set up to prefer these or something. So, yes. And here they are filling up with plastics. That's also good because we make them here and they cannot store or export plastics. Nowadays, with all the chemicals and all the oil and all the ridiculous piping and everything here. But you know, now we have oil for all eternity. And out here, how is the radiation doing? It is very much irradiated here. But it still falls off at the same spot as it did. But now it is an incredibly short distance that you can move it here. Now it used to be very gradual. It's like you could go from here to there and it would fall off. But now it is. Yes, this indicates that these have a pretty set, radius for how much they radiate. And I have been talking, or was talking for a while about building something up here on this mountaintop. Well, in order to do that, how difficult that would be, and how far away this is from everything. Yes, there is a point to having it as far away from everything as possible. That's the whole point of it. And every now and then it burns down, and then we... I need to... that would have been too good if it was one of the... What's going on here? What's going on here? There are many trucks on this line. That's what's going on here. But I don't think that it is a problem. No, I mean it's full of. We have the grain storage is completely full, so it's doing great. Is what it is. All of this. Beatus. Old Beatus there, but that's for that's another story. But here they cannot store export vehicles. That's not good. You've been building harvesters. How many more of these could we put here? I think it's about full, isn't it? Space for vehicles big. Yes, but it will not flow over like that. No, it will not. There's a road cargo station for some reason. Okay. I don't know. Should we get it? Should we do a train and just sell stuff a bit? We're drowning in vehicles here. Not the jackpot train. That's we'll keep the nuclear fuel, please. But at the Staralilina, that's rubles. We're not going there. Oh, that the space for vehicles big. Here, I think we have to remove that stop for this to work well. But you go here. Load vehicles. And then I already had that. You remove, then you go all the way. I mean, it's a long way, but it is very much possible to travel. Here is where you go. Unload 100% of anything. A rail yard, load wood. We have to remove it. Yes, now we'll get rid of a bit of vehicles here. But what might happen is that the train will end up with eastern vehicles, if there are any, but I don't think there are any. And I don't think they cannot be sold at the western border. But I think that we only have western vehicles here. So it should be fine. Let's see how much money we make. Lisa is currently unloading, and economy and trade. This year we have imported here electricity. What was that about? Was that some experiment or something? Or how did that happen? I don't remember. But that's the only thing. We have imported 0 resources. And no foreign manpower. None whatsoever. Last year it was about the same, you know. No foreign manpower, no foreign resources. 100% self-sufficiency. Apart from a few vehicles, but we make so many. We put so many vehicles into the market, so I think it's quite safe for us to be dependent on buying some. But we do have now, actually, since we have the harvester. If we would only have the plans for a tractor as well. Regrettably, there are no Western tractors. Problem is then if we end up with a bunch of them, we cannot sell them for dollars. Sowing. Yes, sowing. We're going to build tractors. We can't afford. That's correct. We could sell all of this. We could sell this stuff as well. It would get so much money. And I don't know what to do with this. We could do stuff like this, park them up here. Like this is something. This did one locomotive. This did. I don't know what this did. I think that this actually did wood and bricks in the early days of the railroad. The very, very early days of the railroad. Okay, and we have all the buses we're ever going to need here, and all the other things as well. So many things. I don't know what to do. Has things started sorting themselves out here? No. Steel has not yet arrived. But both of these are heading here. Both. Yes, both are full. That's incredible. And this is the first pardon me. Yes, this is the first train with steel that arrives here at the new storage yard. And but it's only like 2 of these trains, and then we're full. But in total, then this has 2,500 tons. Okay, I see 2,500. That's plenty of these trains then. That's very, yes, 530 cents a piece. Okay. We have a few travels ahead of ourselves before we're done filling that up. Although this, I'm not too sure about this, if this is acceptable or not. Yes, we can move the grass here a bit. That makes it slightly better, maybe, but for some reason this building is allowed to exist here. It does not need flat terrain right there. Anyway, you know what? I think that the fire station is finished, and we should put some fire engines in it. That is the fire station that should have had we had it. You know, we'd still have. Yes, if we had, that's how you say it, if we had this fire station just a few years earlier. Where the hell are we? This is where I want to go, here. Then we'd still have the palace of the Soviets, but we don't. I'm trying to let go. It is difficult. Need firefighters and fire trucks. Yes, and firefighters you get when you have fire trucks. Yes, you see, before that, where was the fire station then? It was... it was here. I see. I see why you'd have a problem with that, yes. Well, that's on me. It really is. I mean, it would be a bit crazy to do it again, wouldn't it? palace of Soviet. I mean, the first one burned down, and if at first you fail, you try again, don't you? Yes, but you remember how terrible the frame rate got and everything. It was just awful. It's the frame rate. It was, I mean, it was even worse than what it is when you're doing this now. Or about the same, maybe. Are you really doing it one more time? I'm not certain we're doing it one more time, but maybe. We're planning it in. We're putting it in here. Can't build due to infrastructure. Need flat terrain. I suppose we're doing this again then. How much would it be in money this time? About $800 million. Okay. I don't know quite how to feel about this. You're not connected here, so nothing's going to happen. There you go, Palace of Soviets. Now, with fire protection, will be done by 2030, you think? I wonder also, could the kingdom here, the republic, whatever it is, could it do this on its own? If we just left it to its own devices here, is it well oiled and working enough to just do this without interventions? I'm not sure. Maybe. You could do a really condensed time lapse into like 1 minute. But you know, it would need supervision. I think things might happen. Bad things might happen. Do we have, how many adult children? 1,003, 23. Are they here? I don't think they would be here. No, they're not. Should we guess where the adult children are? Here, maybe. This is always a good place. Yes. Yes, it is. This area worked out really well, I have to say. And here you should get a bit of shortcuts here. No, you should not get that. Fine, you only get this then. And this maybe you could have as a gravel. Here? Yes, here we should definitely have. Isn't that nice? I think a lot of people appreciated that, you know. Well, some certainly did. Some certainly did. Katzinshad train diesel station 2. Yes, this is now. Is this emptied out? Yes, it is emptied out. And it is all working well. Yes, it is working well. We could remove Katzinshad train diesel station from here. Yes. You get your stuff from Katzinshad train diesel station 2. Very, very good. Out here. And wait a minute here. You, the IG. How are you doing here? Are you out yet? You're not out yet. This does not seem to be a popular gas station. This. We have a new place for you to go. But you have been standing around here for a very long time, I'd say. In this station. You are set to load at the gas. You know what this does? This took fuel to the rail construction office that we had down there. Yes, it did. Here, that burnt down as well. Many fires have been here. Yes. $18 workers. It's completely fine that these are without jobs. A few here. It is what it is. Over there and down here. This place has turned into some kind of monstrosity. This, with pipes coming in and going out and everything. You know, the raw petroleum coming in here. Here it is, the heart of it all. And here are some of the end products. There's an enormous amount of everything. 150 workers. The steel mill, how are you doing? 100, that's not lots. What are you? Food. Okay. We are all over the place here as usual. Yes, these are starting to fall behind again. I wonder if that is what has happened here, because this town has died off a few times. Or been subjected to terrible accidents, and it has been due to lack of educated people to work as teachers at the school and so on, and eventually that ruins the town, since no one is able to work at the shop eventually. Yes, and this one little university, medical university, yes, sure, it was not enough. But now we have two. Maybe it will be enough. Otherwise we'll build something like this. Ministry of Finance, for example. Yes. New Polochev over here. Are you all... some of the goods are missing. Clothing are missing. How can you be missing clothing? Is it like... is this like a big problem all over the place, maybe? Here, this is terrible, in fact. This is like really bad. We need the clothing here. You don't do this? Or what's the matter? No, you know what? This one. Polochev warehouse. You don't do clothing. Yes, you do. You're supposed to do it here. Yes, there are clothes available. Why don't you do this? Why is it not working? Unload everything. Yes. I don't understand. I don't understand this. You said to get your clothes from here, and there are 2.2 tons available. So what is the matter? Please, explain. Is it same here? No, here is better. Here is not a problem. It is only here. And it's starting to become like a real problem here, like a serious problem, a severe problem even. Something that we need to do something about. You have electronics. I mean, we're pretty good for electronics. That was you again. No, you're driving electronics over here all the time, but it's not... that's not what you need to be worried about so much. Did we do something wrong here, like set... It is more clothing than there is electronics. Why is this not working? I think there's one thing that we should do this, where you get your clothing from here. Which is this one. Yes. We remove that one and add it again. Swage warehouse 2. It's this one. And we get clothing from there. Could you please figure this out now? One of you has to go and get clothing for the people. Or they'll be very, very upset. But you're not. I don't know what's the matter, but we need to do something about it. Do we have a covered hull here somewhere? A covered hull. Yes, we have this. No, that's a tanker. We do not have a covered hull here. We have covered hulls here. Here we have so many covered hulls. Somewhere is here. Although these cannot be really put to work. This one can be put to work. What you do is you go to the warehouse here. Yes, this is a bit big, but this is an emergency. Now, you go here, load up clothing, and you head to here. One shopping center, unload, go quickly. This is Rädda Polonia. Ja, Polochevo. Save the new Polochevo with clothing. Yes. It's like one of the most important vehicles on the road at the moment. At least for Polochevo's sake. Are they starting to escape, maybe? No, not yet. We still have time to save them. Really hope that we do save them. Yes, and you turned around to go for a refuel, didn't you? Of course you did. And I said, okay, this is a popular gas station. And speaking of which, out here, you that are going here, you are not having a good time here, but I wonder if you are necessary at all. You also do this. You go to Oskarshamn gas station, but they have, plenty of fuel. I think that we can get rid of you. Yes. Oskarshamn, you also do exactly this. For some reason. Yes, but I want to get rid of it. Yes. And this Oskarshamn train diesel station, It's the exact same thing. What the hell is this? Cell. Oskarshamn gas station. This one. You don't, but you don't have a distribution office. Okay, we need to put a distribution office on you, or something. At least then we'll put the tanker on you. We'll do it the classic way. Here. Yes. There we go. Unload. Wait until unloaded. There. And you fetch it here. Save the new Polochevo is heading down the motorway. Regrettably, the frame rate is not great on this motorway. And it is very bumpy. It doesn't always turn out, as planned and as great as you'd want them to. But it turns out somehow, some way. That's rough, a little bit, yes. That's something too. We're driving on the Molna bypass here. Or they haven't sorted the situation, I suppose, whilst we're going here. No, they haven't. They're just refusing. It's a good thing we're coming. And yes, they have changed the behavior in tunnels, because now it's completely black. Going through a tunnel. Hello. They ought to come. There we came out. Yes. Okay, is it then such times that the palace of the Soviets is what we're doing and leaving it? No, we can't. Polochevo is having a disaster here with the clothing. It's terrible, and they are starting to leave, I think. They are starting to leave. Yes, if you would just hurry a bit. Wherever you are. Oh, you're getting close. There is quite a bit of stuff around here. And many things going on. Many things going on. There we have it. Don't wait around here any longer than you have to. That's plenty enough, Go. And I don't know, should we have this going back and forth here for all eternity? I don't know. But we need to do something. Look at the people streaming out at the bus platform here. And these are all working according to the new regiment. I think, yes, they are. And when you look at this, it must be working well. Just look at the stream of workers. Yes, come on, you have right of way, you have priority, you are very important. Even though I don't think that we made it quite in time. People have already gotten a bit tired of this. Have they not this year? Escapes? No, it's not quite noticeable. They are still very happy for some reason. Is it the great television maybe that is keeping them happy? Did they have? Yes, they have televisions. And there you have it. Look at this now. People will be streaming here to get the clothing. Maybe. You don't need. You have very nice clothing somehow. 20. You need a bit. 1 kilogram. But you really don't need more electronics because you are pretty well set for it. You have radio, television, and computer, and university education. Come on. I think that's them saved, more or less. And the clothing quality, I think that recovers very, very quickly. 21%. Watching television, nothing happened. Still 21%. Okay then. You didn't get to clothing for some reason. I don't know why you wouldn't. Yes, you. 4.2 kilograms, 19%. You got it. Fast days demands. But still, you are unsatisfied regarding the clothing. Didn't it do anything? This? It would seem not. Should we be standing around here? We can be standing around here with this truck, it doesn't matter. And I don't understand why this doesn't work with the distribution office. They have trucks, they have orders, they have resources available. And now you have 100% clothing. Okay, so yes, it does recover quite quickly, indeed. Like in one good trip to the shops, basically. And the ship, is it 55% finished? Maybe. Yes. It is. About. Here, nothing has happened. Again, quiet on the railroad, or is it just... No, here is something. No, but that is not... that's not traffic. Here is traffic, yes. That means it's working. Although, come to think of it, I think that we should increase production slightly in the clothing and fabric industry, because it seems to be a little bit of a weakness. you're missing crops, you say. We have crops. What you're missing is forklifts that are willing to do this for you. Couldn't you get like? Doesn't this have a pipe connection? This forklift garage? No, it doesn't. We need a tanker. From here to there, yes, yeah, that's what we're going to have. We have forklifts and everything. We just need fuel for them, such as this one. Need assign some task. Yes, you need more than that, you know. Go here, load, and go here, and wait. Get going. Need some tasks. You're getting tasks. You go from here, load crops, don't unload. Go to that one. S, unload crops. That ought to get them going, and we shall increase the number of workers here slightly. I would hope that this is not a representative state of how it usually is, and that there are often far more workers in here, and I'm pretty certain there is. You know, this was built with proper foresight, even putting crops on the railroad, which basically saved us when we got to the population of about 25,000. About 25,000, then you need two food factories. Not that you can't cope capacity-wise with one. You can, but you know, there's always something interrupting the production and such, and therefore there's you need two. You need redundancy. You need redundancy in it. And once we got two of them, and it was so simple since we had the crops here, the resources, just needed workers. Speaking of which, is there anything here? We have built all this. We have built warehouse, open storage, concrete, cement side. We have even built that. Truck aggregate, gravel, quarry, yes, all of that we have. Residential, we haven't built every type. We're not going to. Yes, we have all of this too. Food and crops, no. We have all of this. All of this too. Oil, bitumen, fuel. We have all of that too. Various industry. Yes. We even have a sawmill. Engineering. Car dealer, we have that too. Railway, dry dock, all of this we have. The only thing, we don't have a single reactor nuclear power plant, but I don't think that we need it. $62 million for a twin reactor nuclear power plant here in 2023. That sounds like a good value. Like a really good value to me. Meat, oh, it's in very good balance, still around 500 tons in there. Very nice. Very nice. We'd like to keep it like that, please. If we may. Here was the last, the site of the last construction. I want to build something. That's the thing. But what? some great infrastructure. You know, you are building the palace of Soviets again. Isn't that enough? 1 billion. Not here. Dollars, yes. Here, over 1 billion. Power plant. No, none of those. No, we have sports we don't do. Residential we have built. I don't know about any of this, you know. Broadcasting. We have an excellent television station. Fire station. No. No, there is nothing. There is nothing. That's it. There is nothing left. We need to leave this. I cannot leave this. It's too much. There's too much in this, all of this, that we cannot leave it. You know what we can do to have something to occupy us with here? We could upgrade this, for example, the final piece here. That was not the way it was intended to be done. No. Damn it. Yes, stuff like that happens every now and then, unfortunately, but it's nothing. It's not a whole lot you can do about it. Should we do this bit maybe? As that will keep them busy for a while. Then they could do this too. That is a bit dangerous to do. Here it is paved all the way. Yes, this was intended to be paved. Remember. Yes, I do remember. Let's do it then. All the way up to there. No, continue. Here, yes, very nice. So, no, but something. Do we dare do any more? I don't think so. I think this is enough for now. Indeed, this will definitely keep them busy. And doing this bit will also keep them busy. And eventually this bit too. Upgrading roads here, exciting. Here, this is not really, there's not really any point here though. Yes, definitely do that. And here, still this looks important. Was there an idea here or something about paving this bit too? I don't know, maybe there was. I think that we would do good with a little connection here if we're going to do this. Where does this road even go? Does it go anywhere useful? But it goes to here eventually, and who am I to decide if it is useful or not? That is up to the vehicles to decide if it is a more efficient route for anyone. It's there. It will be there. Now it's under construction. And we could do this too, maybe. Some other infrastructure is in the way. And see, this is dangerous because now you need to keep an eye on especially these places. If they end up with a vehicle here with a question mark on it that cannot get to a road that it is intending to get to, we will have problems. Big problems. Bavkavisk, 73 workers, okay. Yes, and in here 50 workers in the steel mill. What the hell? That's not enough. You know, that's a very small amount. Sounds like to me. And it is. All 3 trains are standing in here and waiting for stuff. You see, this is what I meant. This is exactly it. This is dangerous as hell. Because this then we need to cancel. And then continue. Any more question marks? I don't see any. There is one. What are you? A bus. Right. This road. Do that when you can get to it instead, maybe. Any more confused vehicles here? Not at the moment, no. But there could be more. For a little while longer it could be. It could also be safe. We take here. What do you have? Trirov large oil storage with loader. Very nice. You know, this is going on. It's about to. We should. I think we should wrap it up, shouldn't we? Really? In one go this time? No. What the hell is this? I hope that's some fluke. Yes, I hope so. I certainly hope that's something. You will know if it's a fluke or not. If the music that you hear now is the first music that is heard, then it was no fluke. If there has been a soundtrack, you know, according to the regular, what's usually going on, then it was a fluke. See, these are also going to road which you should not be going to right now. They are well spread out. And can be a little bit difficult to spot. At the moment I don't see any. Should we hope that was the last of them and see? And now there seems to be more workers in the steel mill. 166, perfectly acceptable. What do you bring? Full load. Abouts. Katzinshad. You usually bring full loads. Yes, you do. Yeah, you see, that's more like it. Much more like it. It's all nice. How much steel have we managed to gather up here so far? 1,000 tons. How much in total? 5,500 tons. Okay. The nuclear fuel is now worth $2.8 billion. Here is 111 tons. We are hoarding not only vehicles. How is the... Wait. We need to follow up on this. Wait a minute here now. Take it easy. There is a train exporting these. Should be, but it does not seem to be able to fit. No, you know what? We're building, quite short open house, and that's why. That's why it doesn't work. There's no way to get these out of here other than... no, you can get this on. It's just taking a long time. Okay then. 13 million apiece. These. You have such a long way to go, so it's yes, it's slow moving, but it will eventually empty out. There's bitumen this year. Lisa has been out to sea 76 million. She ought to be back soon. Yes, she will be back soon. 18,000 tons. Wait, yes, we could see her appear maybe over at the over the distance here, over the thing. Here, she should appear. Like pretty soon. Well, in about in some tons. Come on, Lisa, will you make an entrance here? There she comes. Although she is facing the wrong direction, she's turning around. She's a bit confused. What are you doing out there? Coming about, I think, is what she's doing. And here we now have more stuff for the ships, don't we? Yes, we do, but we do need more mechanical components, so we could head here and fill up a bit on that. Or we could even head to the plastics factory and fill up on that as well. Yes, electrical components, I think that we're pretty good for 18 tons. 6 tons plus. No tons in there for some reason. Know why? You have 12 tons of water. I don't understand. Oh, here is meat, I would think. All of this is meat. So Husqvarna, you need 3, apparently, of these meat trucks to keep you fed. Well, not only fed, but also, in meat. Yes. Really keeping up. I mean, you never thought about fixing the place up a bit or something. It is quite prime real estate that you got here, for example. mean, the quality of the flats is only 65%. But you're right that in the center of, Husqvarna, next to the shopping center, there are quite a few shoppers here. That's what we like to see. Very good. Although this, I'm not sure about this, that so many people are heading here and doing sports. No, I do not approve of this. But I think it has a positive impact, regrettably. You see, sports has now gone up to almost maximum sports enjoyment. They have no alcohol enjoyment, and their health increases a bit, I think, from it, which is very nice. Right. I think, dear friends, that this is about to be wrapped up. Now, the Palace of Soviets, how far have you gotten? Well, there's only $797 million remaining on it. 816 tons of electrical components we need. Okay. And we don't really have anywhere to put them in the meantime. No, only in here. And that's a very small place. It is so. But there's one final check for the question marks here, and then I don't see any. No, I don't see any. It should be fine then. Maybe. What's this for? What is this? A bus stop out here. No. We don't have anything here. We have no vehicles. We have no nothing. And it's one of these, for some reason. Probably some experiment that was done and then forgotten about what the point was with it. Certainly have no clue now. So, with no question marks on the map, dear friends, I thank you so very much for watching and wish you good night.